Welcome back to The Outright Effect, a podcast in which unique perspectives challenge us to be better versions of ourselves. I'm Shelly.
And I'm Tempsy.
And today we are going to be talking about hair, like our hair and what we've done with it, how we've colored it, cut it, whatever we've done. We thought it would be an interesting follow-up episode after our skincare episode that we recorded last time. So we're going to go into, maybe styles we had when we were younger. I know personally I wasn't a fan of my hairstyle as a child. But Tempsy, how did you wear your hair when you were younger?
Going all the way back. So I was business in the front, party in the back, and not in the way of, what is it called?
A mullet?
Yes, not in the way of a mullet. But I had bangs and long hair, and this is kind of the typical hairstyle for young kids, as far as I saw that were around me. So I think my mom just was like, well, this looks easy. Bangs, long hair, leave it as that. What about you, Shelly? That's all I have for the beginning.
Yeah.
That was it.
So for me, I actually had really short hair when I was younger. My mom herself, she grew up having short hair and she honestly just didn't know how to manage long hair. That's what she told me. So when I was younger, in elementary school, they would literally take a buzzer to the back of the bottom of the back of my hair. And so, yeah, I know what that's like. I basically looked like I had a bowl cut essentially until
I feel like we need to see a picture of this.
No, we don't need, I don't think I have any, to be honest with you. I honestly, a friend that I had that I have on Facebook who knew me way back when, reposted. I'm like, this legit is the oldest photo of me on the internet, but I don't know where it is. It's somewhere on my feed.
Hate when that happens. You don't even somebody
warn
posted
you first.
Somebody posted a terrible picture of me one time, and I was like, "Come on!" But you can't say anything, right? Because you're
I
like,
know.
all right.
It's like fine, and we were all that young back then too, so it's not like I was on blast. It was like all of us were, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I was only able to grow my hair to my shoulders when I was nearing the end of elementary school. So around fourth, fifth grade, my hair was shoulder length. And that at the time was the longest that I had ever had it. Honestly, people mistook me as a boy when I was growing up. And I think too, my mom was rather conservative. She's from a prior generation. So, I think the way that she dressed me, the way that my hair was very reflective of that. And my short hair really didn't do me any good. So, talking about, my mom growing up very conservative. So I was very covered up as a kid, shorts were never they're probably almost down to my knees, that was how she was comfortable with letting me exit the house.
Right.
So, and I didn't wear tank tops or anything like that. That was not I wouldn't say it was off limits. I didn't ask and she didn't tell me no. It just never happened.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I sworn off short hair. We'll never do it again for the rest of my life. So if you see me today and you've seen our pictures on Instagram, I do not have short hair. I will never have short hair ever again.
Man, my hair was so long all the time that I begged my mom to cut my hair at some point, begged her. And finally she let me do it. It was above my shoulders. And next we're going to get into chemical related hair products. Sure. And my mom permed her hair pretty frequently when I was in elementary school. And so I begged her to perm my hair, and it was after I had cut my hair, I think. And so I had this short bob above my shoulders that was completely curly. And it was pretty cute actually, but it was just so different. And then my mom always blow dried my bangs, half of my bangs up and half of my bangs down. Do you remember that look back in the 90s?
I think I do. I think I remember that look.
So I would beg her to do my bangs in the morning, and that's how she would do it if she did my bangs in them. Otherwise she would just leave it flat. But especially for school pictures, and I have these pictures, I'm happy to post them because it's just totally it's just so funny. But she finally let me perm my hair. I think I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and that was my first introduction to chemicals, in my hair. But she had told me no for a really long time. I was asking for it pretty early. So
That's so funny. So like, I mean, I think because my hair was so short, like my mom, honestly, we never did anything with it. Like I never styled my hair. Like honestly, I never had braids. Like my hair was too short to do stuff like that. The only time that I actually grew my hair down to like down my back was literally in high school. Like my senior year of high school, I had pretty long hair. I never grew it too long though. Like it wasn't like an inconvenient kind of long hair, but yeah, it's so funny. My mom was also very against me color treating my hair or anything like that. And I think because like, I don't know, maybe this is just my family and the vibe that they had about Japanese culture and like hair. They love jet black hair, and I had jet black hair. Like recently, my hairstylist now she whipped out like that whole board of different colors of dye that they have in the salon, and she matched my hair. Like my roots were growing out, and I needed her to color my hair. She matched it to like it was in between the darkest black and the next step up is how dark
wow.
my natural hair color is. So I same thing as you were begging your mom to get a perm. I was begging my mom for highlights because it was a cool thing back then. People were using that like sun-in thing that I never put my hands on, but my mom just never trusted me to like buy box dye from the store and like try to do it in the shower myself. That was a no-no. She took me to the salon and I got highlights in the salon my freshman year of high school, and I've never not dyed my hair since then. So
Oh,
most of my life I've
really?
had colored hair. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even realize. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew that you dyed your hair, but so you were told no so much that you were like all in at that point.
Yep. Freshman year to current day. So when is that? Freshman year? Late 90s. Late 90s to 2020. Dye my hair every few months.
Wow.
I've never seen myself with my natural hair color like fully. I'd say, during this time when salons have been closed for a while, I went for almost 6 months of not coloring my hair, but that's the longest I have ever gone since ninth grade.
Wow. It's so funny that you mentioned that sun and stuff because that was the rage back then. Like it was such a huge thing. And I was like begging my mom, please let me do it. And she's like, no, it's horrible for your hair. It's going to wreck your hair. It's going to ruin it. And I think I just wore her down. So eventually, because she also said, honestly, your hair it naturally gets lighter in the summer every year during the summer because the sun was out. It was so much lighter. And so she's like, people would die for your hair. Like, why are you going to mess it up? This is what it does naturally, so don't mess it up. And I think either she finally gave me permission because I wore her down, or I just did it without her permission. Sorry, mom. But I remember doing it.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh, and I don't remember it being that much of a difference. I don't know if
I
I
I
did it
never
wrong or
tried it.
what.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
not
know.
sure. I just had friends who did, or they would put like lemon or something in their hair. I think that's
Yeah, I
what,
heard
like,
about that
like they're
too.
like, my mom won't let me buy sun-in. So I just got a lemon and like put it in my hair. I was like, what? Okay, fine.
That
And
definitely did not work for me.
I never tried either of those things. So I don't know how that went. But I mean, I think, the part that maybe made me a little bit conflicted is I always saw my mom getting chemical treatments done on her hair, whether it be dyeing it a color, not a color, but like, covering her white hair or like getting a perm. So I was kind of like, why can't I do this? You do this like all the time, you know?
I
Um,
think that's why my mom let me get a perm because she did it at home, the perm. She would dye her hair in the salon, but at home she would perm her own hair. So I saw those curler things everywhere, and I mean, her house was a mess, but I watched her do it before and I was just like, I want to do what my mom's doing. And so I think after a while she's like, well, I'm doing it. I can't deny you of it. And I think you're old enough at this point. So I was like, okay, great, let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. Yeah. My mom was super against it. Actually, my grandma still today does not like that I dye my hair. She calls me blonde. And if you've seen any of our pictures, I am not blonde. I I have medium brown dyed hair.
That's
She's really
funny.
upset about it. Even
That's
today.
hilarious.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, speaking of dyeing hair, have you ever dyed it like an extreme color?
I mean, I guess I would say maybe. I guess it depends what you consider extreme. So I haven't had blue or green or purple hair or anything like that, but I did dye my hair red in high school. I had red highlights, basically like stop sign red. My high school didn't allow unnatural colors because I mean it was a private school and we had a relatively strict dress code. There are other schools out there had more strict dress codes than we did, but technically red is a hair color. It wasn't green or anything like that. So I did it. I didn't get in trouble. Yeah, it was highlights though. Red, basically stop sign, red highlights that I had. It's in my senior photo, but it doesn't really look that red, which is a little bit disappointing, but yeah.
You got to go back and try it again. For me, I didn't, now that you say you dyed your hair red, which I actually already knew, I do remember one time I accidentally, I don't remember why or how, I have a horrible memory, but I did dye my hair red and people were calling me the Little Mermaid. And I can't remember, it was only for like a day or two. And I don't remember how that happened or why. My memory fails me. But beyond that, I only like started dyeing my hair maybe in high school, and it was like gradual over time where I would get highlights and the highlights would get more distinct. And it was when those chunky highlights were in. Do you remember those chunky highlights?
I do.
Yeah.
I do remember
So
that.
that's when I started. I had chunky highlights, and then gradually over time, I started with more natural highlights, and then I wanted the chunkier ones, and then gradually over time, my entire head of hair became blonde, and it was really long. And so for graduation, my high school graduation, I had blonde hair. I was blonde.
I feel like I can't picture that for some reason.
Well, what's funny is I have all the pictures, so I'll post mine up on social media so you
I'm
guys
like, I
can
don't,
see.
yeah. Oh, actually, now that we're talking, I mean, I've done a lot of hair trends over time. So that red hair thing lasts me a while. Like I was maintaining the red hair for maybe 2 years or something like that. I think it was like my junior or senior year of high school. I was like constantly, it wrecked the shower. Like red was just everywhere. I had to like rinse the shower down every time I took a bath. But
Really?
yeah, it comes out really fast. But it was maybe about 4 years ago. I did that like everyone was dyeing their hair gray. And so I did like the lower halves of my hair gray.
I
I mean
remember that.
I've done the whole like, oh, what was it called? I did like ombre highlights, balayage. Like balayage is basically the style in which my hair is highlighted now. But yeah, I did like the gray, basically gray balayage. I had like an A-line haircut with the gray balayage. I thought that was kind of cool.
What
I
is
didn't,
balayage? Is that where
it's
it's
when they,
at the roots?
yeah, when it's not at the roots. And I actually don't like my highlights starting at the roots. And I noticed that maybe within the past 5 years, like I cannot stand it being all the way up there because I'm like, for me, it looks super unnatural. Like I mentioned, my hair is almost the most jet black like hair dye you can find. Should I be putting highlights all the way at my roots? Like that's not real. So yeah, I like it to start like somewhere around my ear and then down.
Mm.
But I don't highlight my hair all the time. Usually I highlight it once and then I just touch up my roots until like my highlights are totally cut off my hair on the ends, they're totally gone, and then I'll do it all over again. But yeah, my hair's gone through a lot actually.
My hair went through a lot when I was younger, but after high school, I don't think I dyed my hair for 10 plus years.
Yeah,
What
that's
about
good. That's probably something I should do, but I'd have a heart attack.
Nah, that's okay. Do you? What about donating your hair? Have you donated your hair before?
No, I've never donated my hair. I've been traumatized from short hair, so I never want to chop that much off at a time. But also, I think there was a time frame in which, if I remember correctly, that you couldn't donate color treated hair anyway. So I think I was already off the list. I
Yeah.
think that's changed now, but yeah. So no, I haven't.
I don't know if it's changed, but I even though my hair was dyed the last time I donated, I just sent it in anyway, figuring if they wanted to use it, they could, because I was chopping it off anyway. But I haven't read that like you they'll accept it, if that makes sense. But that's the
Yeah.
reason I stopped dyeing my hair is because my late stepmom, she used to donate her hair. So because she knew she could grow it out so quickly, she would grow it as long as she could until she had enough where when she did chop it off, because you need to chop at least 10 to 12 inches, that she would still have a good enough amount of hair. So her hair was really long most of the time. And so she would donate it. And I was like, well, I can grow my hair pretty fast. I'll just do that. And so it gives you like the option to have long hair every once in a while, but also then have short hair. But every time I chop it off, I'm over it within like a month or so, because I can put it up, but I can't do as much with it, you know. So, but yeah, I donate it every, I would say, 2 to 3 years. And I do not donate to Locks of Love, so don't worry. I donate to Wigs for Kids. Locks of Love, I guess, I don't know if this is true or not, but I just heard that they were, instead of making wigs for children who, are going through cancer treatments, they were actually selling them, selling the wigs. And so I was like, well, I don't know if they're doing that or not. It's alleged. It's all hearsay. So I'm just going to donate to Wigs for Kids, which I heard was much more reputable. So if you do want to donate your hair and you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer them for you, but it's a really good thing to do if your hair grows really fast and you don't mind chopping it off every, 2 to 3 years, just depending. It's a nice thing to do. And basically all they do is put a rubber band, put your hair in a ponytail, braid it, and then cut it above where they measured that the ponytail was long enough to where you'd still have enough hair to do whatever you want to do. So it's up to you. But yeah, I think
Okay,
it's
so I have
good.
a question about that. So you said
Yeah.
that, about every 2 to 3 years you're donating your hair. Is it that you're waiting, like your last haircut was 2 to 3 years ago, and then you don't
Oh,
cut your hair for 2 to 3 years and then you donate it? Like,
no, I'm waiting for it to grow long enough to where when I do chop it off, my hair is still long enough to put in a ponytail.
right, but is that process 2 to 3 years? Like you're not cutting, like you're not trimming your hair or anything, like you're not doing anything with it for 2 to 3 years
Oh,
so that you can grow it to that length.
no, I get my hair cut twice a year. And so, because, I still get split ends, even though I don't really get them as often, or it's just not as apparent to me, I'll cut my hair twice a year. And between, of course, I just let it grow as long as I can. And it's weird because I think a lot of women cut their hair more often than twice a year, but I just never really had an urge to cut my hair more often. Plus, women's haircuts are quite expensive. And because I have long hair, and my hair's not thick, but I have a lot of it, I have really fine, thin hair, but I have a lot of it. And so people always charge me more, especially because I'm growing it out. And so they would like, oh, come on in, we'll evaluate to see how much it is. And I'm like, oh man, like I'm not gonna pay this every every however long normal women get it cut. So I'll basically wait until my hair, like if I put it up and it gives me a headache after a couple of hours, then I know, okay, it's time to schedule an appointment. And so I'll just trim it. And I always get layers, whether it's long layers, short layers. My layers will start right below my chin and then go all the way down. That's basically usually how I get my hair cut. And in between, it'll grow as long as it grows. And then once it's long enough, which it has to be down to my butt in order for me to be able to cut it off and still have enough to put in a ponytail. So what about you, Shelly? How often do you cut your hair, color? Like, what do you do with your hair these days?
So my normal schedule is, and maybe I shouldn't even say these days, but my normal schedule since like 2000 has been to get my hair done every 3 to 4 months, depending on when I can get an appointment. So I've been going to the same person for about 10 years, no, more than that, maybe almost 15 years now. And nowadays I more so get a trim. I guess sometimes I'll change it up. I actually realized that I don't like layers because when I tie it up, they all like come out of the ponytail and then it gets in my face. And I'm like, why am I tying my hair up? The whole reason was to keep it out of my face. But I always need to touch on my roots. I have way more white hair than I would like to admit. I've been having white hair since like sixth grade. I mean, it's not a lot. It's just, I know it's there. And luckily for me, the way that I part my hair hides it. And I'm not parting my hair on purpose like that. It's just by coincidence. I part my hair like on the side, on the left, and my white hair is on the right. I mean, if I part it on the right, it looks weird. Like my hair just doesn't want to do it. So coincidence. Um, but I would generally say that I've gone through a bunch of different hairstyles. You know, I used to have like the bangs situation, like the fringe, people call it, or like the side bangs. I had that for a long time. And I don't have bangs anymore. My hair is all kind of one length. I actually think I have like right now, because I got my hair cut like not too long ago, but when, you know, when salons started to open back up, I have pretty much like a straight cut right now. So my hair is like kind of like blunt at the edges all the way across, but I have gone through, you know, layers. Like I mentioned, I had an A-line cut where I was like longer in the front and not short in the back. I think it was like the drastic, that was the trend back then, but it was kind of like gradually shorter in the back. But I mean, I am super low maintenance with my hair. I don't do anything with it. If I'm like going out to a nice dinner, I'm a guest at a wedding, I'll curl my hair, but that's kind of it. I don't even blow dry my hair regularly. Honestly, right before this, I had a workout. So Tempsy's looking at me on Zoom with like wet hair, and I'm just like, whatever. But I pretty much just shampoo, condition my hair, let it dry naturally, put in some leave-in conditioner if I need to. I do need to start using hair masks though, because of how I did my balayage highlights last time really dried out my hair. So my hair gets super tangled right now, and it annoys the heck out of me. But anyways, that's my has been for the last 20 years routine for my hair. But yeah.
That's so funny because I just found out about hair masks recently. Like I would say within the last year. I had no
Yeah.
idea there was any such thing.
And it's funny because I actually used to do a lot more with my hair in high school and college than today, which I think for a lot of other people it might be the other way around. So I was doing hair masks in high school and college. Like I was doing all kinds of stuff, like putting leave-in conditioner in it every single day. Now I put like leave-in conditioner like when I remember, or when I'm like brushing my hair and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even get a brush through it. But I do experiment with different brands of shampoo and all that, like similar to my skincare. I try all different kinds of hair stuff. And yeah, so that, I mean, I'm still exploring that area of hair products. But yeah, I mean, I've used like hair wax when I curl my hair to, I don't know, I forget what I was doing with it. That was a long time ago. But yeah, lots of
Maybe to
products
nail
have been in my
down,
hair.
maybe to nail down like any flyaways or something. Is that
No,
what it was for?
it was to like hold the curl, but not in a crispy hairspray kind of way. You know, just
Gotcha.
to like, yeah, keep it there, but keep it like fluffy and sort of separated. But anyways, how do
It's
you
funny.
I
It's funny because you say that you just wash your hair and then you just let it dry.
hmm
And for the longest time, my hair would be so ugly if I did that. Like it's just kinky. You know, like it's not straight, it's not wavy, it's just kink. And it looks
hmm
terrible. So I would have to do something. Either I would have to put it up or I'd have to blow it out. And I couldn't use hair straighteners because they would leave because my hair is fine maybe, it would leave like a crease as where
where
I
it started.
started. Yeah. And so I was like, I can't do that. So what I started doing was just curling my hair to straighten it out, like straighten out the flyaways if I had any, and then just curling it. So it would be like nicer curls rather than just kink. That's a little bit faster, but for the most part, like before I had my kid, there was no way I could just wake up and have my hair be like tamed enough to walk out of the house. There was no way. So it's funny because when I was young, my mom, she loved my hair in a French braid, right? Because I would never leave it just air dried. So she'd be like, you're taking too long, just put your hair up, because I would want to blow it out and it would just take way too long. So she's like, just put it in a braid. I love your hair in a French braid. And I was like, I can't. You've tried to explain it to me. So then she'd have to do it. She tried to explain it to me several times, but I just couldn't figure it out until one day I went with her to the salon. She's getting her hair, dyed. And I saw one of the stylists French braiding her own hair. And I was like, I got it. I was so excited. And so I went home without telling her and I French braided my hair. And I was like, Mom, look. She's like, how did you do that? I've been trying to teach you how to do that for so long. And I explained it to her and she's like, wow. I guess that's when I realized I'm a visual learner, maybe. But since then, I always tried new things. Like when a new style or a new trend came out, I would keep trying it until I figured it out. And if you remember in an older episode, I told you like I wanted to be a hairstylist. but my mom's
That's
ex-husband told
right.
me, right? So, but this is where I would get major focus, is I would be able to eventually figure out how to do what I wanted to do. And this is before, Instagram and YouTube. There was none of that. So if you saw somebody with a hairstyle that you liked, you would have to just figure it out. So I became the queen of updos. Like, I was doing updos left and right. You remember when we used to work together that I would wear my hair up every day in a different like styling, right? And I just loved doing that. And I would get so many compliments. But then once my job just became way busier and I needed more time at work or working, I just was like, I can't keep doing this every morning. And so I would just have to do it. The simplest thing, like I would just blow dry my crown, like the hair that would be within what you would consider your crown. I would blow dry that, let the rest air dry. I was cheating the system. And the stuff underneath would be kinky, but the stuff on top would be all blown out nice. So I was hoping that
It's
nobody would
covering it
really,
up.
yeah, I was hoping
Mhm.
that nobody would really know. So that's kind of how I got around that. But then when I had my kid, my hair got curly. Like, I wouldn't say curly. I would say it was more of a little bit of a nicer wave rather than kinky, as I was saying before. And I got these like curly cues around my forehead. They're if I wear my hair up, they look like devil horns. Like, that's what I feel like. But when I curl them with my fingers, they look like these
Oh
curly
my
cues, and they
gosh,
drive
it's
me
baby hair.
bonkers. It's baby hair.
Yep.
But I only got it when I got pregnant. It's so weird, and they drive me bonkers. But at least the majority of my hair got wavy rather than when I air dried it, it got kinky.
Hmm.
So the problem though is in Hawaii humidity, it's it just sometimes when I wake up, it looks real nuts. So I'd have to straighten out my bangs and put, some sort of like gel or something to keep it tamed. But for the most part, like I've grown to, you know, love the new structure of my hair and kind of just wear it as is because I don't have as much time. But yeah, it's kind of what I do day to day. And then if I have a special occasion or whatever, then I'll just curl it. It's the easiest
Yeah.
thing to do.
That's so funny because I mean, like, I feel like when I was younger, I didn't have as much baby hair, like through high school and stuff like that. Like maybe I did, but it's like out of hand right now, which is it's actually kind of funny because I think a lot of times Asian hair has like it's normal to have baby hair. Like I think that's like a normal happening, but I know that for myself it's just really annoying. Like when I'm trying to wash a dog and it's just like up in my face. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. And I think like for me, I think, there was a point in time where I did want to like style my hair and like do stuff with it. But honestly, if I have to like raise my arms higher than my shoulders for too long, I'm like, I give up. I don't care already. That's too much work.
I'm not gonna
I'm just
lie,
gonna brush it.
my arms have gotten tired before, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I was thinking about as you were talking, I mean, those two things were things that came to mind. But one thing that I noticed is on the flip side, the humidity helps my hair when I go to somewhere dry and I wake up, that's when my hair looks messed up. Like it's like however I was sleeping on it, it stayed that way on the
Oh,
pillow. And
you're
I'm just
right.
like, what the? Because that doesn't happen every day. Like I literally just wake up, I run a brush through my hair, and I'm good. That's it.
That's funny. No, that's true. When I used to live in Vegas, it would do that. Like if your hair folded over for some reason, there would be like a
Yeah, it like
fold.
stays there. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that happened to me when I was either in California. I'm like thinking, where have I gone recently? Last year. I think it happened to me in California, either LA or like Northern California, and I was just like, what is like this has never happened to me before.
You know
What
what
is
else it
going on?
happens? It happens with my eyebrows.
Really?
Yeah, like if I sleep
Like
in
it
in
gets bent?
Vegas, yeah, I don't think it's rarely happened here, but in Vegas, if I slept on my eyebrow before it had dried from the shower, I don't know. I don't know if I just slept on it weird. It would stay that way and I'd have these like brow hairs going straight up and I'd have to like get it wet and push it back down. It was
That's so
weird.
bizarre. Like why? Anyways, I mean, it's science beyond me, but okay.
Yeah, but that's okay. Well, what crazy products have you used that you really like or really can't stand?
So I mean, this makes me a little bit sad because there are some really popular products out there that I've tried. Ones that people rave about. I see a ton of like things online or videos people post on YouTube about how great they are. Honestly, it's those shampoos that you customize. It was terrible for me. I've never had my hair more tangled in my life. I made a video about it and posted it on YouTube on my channel. And someone had commented about maybe changing up the formula. Like, I think, if you had mentioned this or that instead, then you would have come out with a formula that you like. And in my opinion, that's too much work for the custom shampoo situation, right? Like, it should be easy enough where I'm just answering the basic questions that the website's asking me, and bam, it should like pump out, right? Like, I shouldn't have to
Yeah.
like, that like if I was making my own
Manipulate.
shampoo at home, right? Then I could see myself adding in, right? Like manipulating it, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But if I have to pay money for like somebody else and then I have to tweak it along the way, like,
Yeah, you have to
no, I
manipulate
don't
your
want to do
survey
that.
result. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
weird.
dumb. Anyways, what about you? Anything that you tried that you liked or didn't like?
Well, actually, I remember you saying that you are not a big fan of dry shampoo. It's something that I've recently started using because when I shower at night and I wake up in the morning, sometimes and oftentimes my hair is already greasy. And I swear we wash our sheets every week. It's not that. We wash our pillows. It's not that. It's just that my hair is just naturally greasy after 8 hours. And I have family members who have the same issue. So I think it's a genetic thing. And so dry shampoo for me has been amazing. And I've only started using it within the last year or so. But I just absolutely love it. But you have a story about dry shampoo, right?
Yeah, I mean, dry shampoo and I just don't get along. Honestly, like I mentioned, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of hair videos. I like to watch product reviews. I do product reviews too. And so people are like dry shampoo, when it started to become a thing, maybe like a few years ago or something like that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this dry shampoo thing. So and so's talking about this. I'm going to grab it. And I don't get it. I'll be honest. It doesn't work for me. It makes my scalp hurt, like in general. Like, I think it's like too much buildup on my scalp or something like that. I'm just guessing. I don't know. But, dry shampoo didn't do for me what everybody else was saying it did for them. So I'm like, never mind. I just wash my hair every day. I don't need dry shampoo. It hurts. Literally.
That's so weird. When you said that, I was like, huh? But for me, like, I absolutely love it. I have a bottle on hand at all times because I hate it. I
And I
hate it
know
when
a
my
lot of
hair
people
looks
who
greasy.
do. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people who use dry shampoo like every single day and they use it to supplement washing their hair and all that kind of stuff. I just can't do it. Like I tried to do all the things. I was like, it's not working.
I've never used it to supplement washing my hair, though. I will
Some
say
people
that
do
just
because,
because,
yeah, I mean, I couldn't do it. I mean, clearly I couldn't do it. I don't like dry shampoo, but people say that it's better for you to wash your hair like 2 or 3 times a week rather than every single day. And I don't think I'm ever going to get to that point. So in those cases, people are using that instead of actually washing
yeah.
their hair with shampoo. But I
I've
mean,
heard that too, but
I get it.
I can't
I
bring
can't
myself
do
to do
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
And for
one
me,
day.
it's not like, for me, it's not necessarily like I feel gross about it. It's just that my scalp's gonna hurt. Like, why would I? That's self
Yeah.
torture at that point.
Yeah.
So, anywho, so what do you use now? What's currently in your shower that you put on your hair?
I use Nexus. Costco started selling it for a much more reasonable price than it used to be sold for. It used to be quite expensive. And so I just get it from Costco. I think it's like $24, something like that for the big shampoo and conditioner. And then I use sometimes like when I wake up and it's like super frizzy and messed up, I'll use the John Frieda Frizz Ease like gel and that'll help. And then every once in a blue moon, if I actually do put my hair up, it's not very often these days, and I just need to get rid of my devil horns in my hair, then I'll just spray a little hairspray and I'll, comb it with a fine comb back. Or I'll use the mascara, those mascara
Spoolies.
brushes. What's it called?
Spoolie.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Like spoolie. Yeah.
I'll use a mascara spoolie and, brush them back. Just one of those like not one that's actually in a mascara bottle. It's like those
Right,
ones
the
that
clean
Sephora
one.
uses. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And then that's pretty much the only products I use in my hair, to be honest.
Have you tried a toothbrush for that? I feel like that's a popular option that people do too, like a clean toothbrush to do the hairspray, like brushing it back
I have seen that, but I've never gotten around to really
and
needing it
trying.
because I have a super fine comb too that usually
Oh,
does the trick. It's only
mm-hmm.
when it's not working that I use the spoolie. That's such a funny name. Anywho, what
Too
about you? What do
funny.
you use in your hair every day?
For me, it's kind of funny. I feel like I always have these like non-cost effective options for things that I do. But I mean, right now, I'll be super honest. I have been trying like different shampoo, like hair care stuff, and like I mentioned, that customized one that I ordered online after doing a survey. But at the end of the day, the thing that I feel like has been working the best for me is same thing. I go to Costco, I buy Pantene Pro V, and I am contemplating doing using some other products, which I'm still doing research on. Occasionally, I use some kind of mask or leave-in hair conditioner. To me, it's funny because I'm very big on skincare, but very simple on the hair products, which normally I feel like people are like all in on both and not like one or the other. I don't know. Maybe that's just my guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I have used some other like higher end products from the salon, like Kerastase, I think is pretty good. I want to try some of their like shampoo and conditioner. I just can't bring myself to spend the money on that. But I do want to try some of the shampoos that Sephora has. I don't know. I mean, I just like trying stuff out. So we'll see what I
You're a
end up with.
trier.
Hmm.
Have you heard of the new shampoo and conditioner bars that are supposed to be, more earth friendly and sustainable type products?
I have, and I actually did a video where I tried some.
Oh, shoot.
So yeah, and
I
that it
must
was a
have missed
while
that
ago.
one.
It's an old video. I want to say I probably did it a year or more ago. It's pretty old, but yeah, it's on my
Actually,
YouTube
I think I
channel.
do remember you doing
Yeah.
one.
The ones that I had purchased were from Lush and they were okay. I felt like I think, okay, in my opinion, I feel like I expect a lot out of conditioners, but just so shampoos are like getting my hair clean, I'm fine with that. But the conditioners, that's, I think, because I color my hair, I think that's where I'm like, this better do something for me. So if I had to suggest, if somebody wanted to try those, go ahead. I mean, if you want to try them, I thought they were pretty cool. They actually lasted a really long time. I just had to take them out of the shower in between so that they didn't get like wet, that they could dry off and not like melt away and go down the drain. Like literally your money is going down the drain, right? So but yeah, the conditioner, I didn't feel like it like hydrated my hair as much as it needs to with all the hair dyeing that I do. But yeah, I would use shampoo bars again. I would definitely look for other ones. The Lush one, I mean, they have a pretty good assortment, but I know like people are like, either they like Lush or they don't. The smells can be pretty strong, so I mean, I get it. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I've used them. I would use it again.
That's interesting because I would be more concerned that the shampoo bar was not it wouldn't lather as much as I would
It's
anticipate.
surprising. It's surprising how much it does. So I literally would like wet my hair, put the bar on my head and like rub it around a little bit, just a little bit, like a few times. And that was enough shampoo like for me to actually
Oh,
it's
wow.
not gonna lather like a Pantene Pro V and probably
Right.
Nexus where like your whole head is like full of shampoo
Yeah.
foam, right? It's not like that, but it lathers a surprising amount. Like I'm like, oh yeah, this is doing something. I thought it was just gonna be like meh,
Yeah.
but yeah,
A
I
friend of
like the
mine told
bar
me
shampoo.
that she tried a sustainable product that is a bar shampoo and conditioner, and she said it lathered really well. But I was assuming that something like that wouldn't lather as well and that the conditioner would be fine. But it's funny that you had the opposite experience.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what is this conditioner doing? That was my thought, but it could just be me. And maybe if you don't dye your hair, you're fine. I don't know. But yeah. Well, that's all we have for this episode. Let us know. You can always email us, go to our website, or comment on any of our Instagram posts. What do you guys use for your hair? Any product recommendations you have for either of us? Hair masks, cool shampoos and conditioners that you use for color treated hair for myself, and any like styling products that you think Tempsy might want to try. But yeah, thank you again for listening to this episode of The Outright Effect. You can find us on theoutrighteffect.com. Follow us on our social media accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all at The Outright Effect. You can also reach us by emailing us at theoutrighteffect@gmail.com. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.